And also thank you for recognizing him as an organ donor. And as you stated, yes, his legacy will continue not only through myself and his children, but also through those lives that he touched through his donation. So thank you.
You're welcome. You can't leave yet, because we are gonna get a picture. Okay, any other council members have any words?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Councilman Green,
I'll yield to Councilman Booth.
Councilman Butcher.
I just want to send my condolences. He would send me text messages periodically about things he didn't like or that he did like. And we have known each other for many years. When I was the chief at Fire District 5, our paths crossed a lot. So I appreciate his service. He was a good man, and I know he's going to be sadly missed, but the city of Shreveport appreciates his service, and I do. Thank you.
Councilman Green.
Yes, I'd just like to say, God bless you all, and certainly it was a privilege to be able to be in the walk that we had on last week. And it was also my privilege to be able to stand beside you and lift you up as they were putting him in the vehicle. And also, it was very touching that you was able to recognize the fact, and you thanked me for holding you up. And God bless you.
Amen.
And God bless all of you.
Any other council members? Mayor Arsenault.
I did not know Captain Green, but I know him now through his reputation and through the love that we've shared. It was my honor to be on the honor walk and my honor to be at the funeral. So I appreciate what he did, and I appreciate y'all's contribution and your sacrifice at this particular time.
Chief, any for your staff? You all look good? Y'all looking like I said would? So we're gonna come down and present this resolution to you. Councilman Talaferro.
Yes, Madam Chair, at this time, I'd like to invite Father Paul Martin to the podium. And Father Paul is going to give us an explanation of what he does here for us every Tuesday when we meet regarding the cross of nails. And we certainly appreciated his enlightenment and entertainment and what he does for us.
First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with y'all. Offering a preacher a pulpit is challenging and perhaps dangerous, but I guarantee you I will stay within my 15 minutes. So we come here to pray for you all as part of the ministry of St. Mark's Cathedral, but also as part of the community of the Cross of Nails. I think I need to explain that a bit. The community of Cross of Nails is based at and was started by Coventry Cathedral in Coventry, England. The purpose of this international community is to devote ourselves to reconciliation in the world around us. Historically, Coventry was and still is the Detroit of England. I mean, Rolls-Royce, Jaguar, Land Rover, Vauxhall, British Ford are all still call Coventry home. Therefore, Coventry was a prime target during World War II. On November 14th, 1940, Coventry was severely bombed. The city central was completely destroyed, and along with it, the beautiful 14th century cathedral. All of that was left was just 4 walls, and I think I have given you a picture of the first service happening after the bombing. The dean of the cathedral at that time was Richard Howard. In an inspired response to this disastrous act of violence, he took 2 of the charred beams from the roof and formed a cross and put it behind the high altar. He took 3 of the roofing nails and formed a cross. Finally, he took charred pieces of wood and wrote, "Father, forgive," upon the wall behind the altar. Picture 2 kind of depicts what's there. You see the charred cross and the writing on the wall, now etched in gold paint. Note that the dean did not write, "Father, forgive them." He correctly saw that even during that war, we are all sinners in need of God's forgiveness and grace. It was not, "Father, forgive them." It's, "Father, forgive us all." After the war, Dean Howard sent many teenagers over to Dresden, Germany, which was bombed by the Allies just as badly as Coventry, to help them rebuild their city. And teenagers from Dresden came to Coventry to do the same. And therefore, the ministry of reconciliation was started. Fast forward to 1962 and the rebuilding of the Cathedral of St. Michael. It was decided it was not to be rebuilt over the burnt cathedral, but to be built adjacent to it. Therefore, there was the crucified cathedral, and then it should say now. I think it has not, but it should say now. I'll talk to my secretary about her misdeed later. And you can see it in picture 3. So the resurrected cathedral is right next to the crucified cathedral. In 1970, Dean Williams sought to solidify the ministry of reconciliation, creating the community of the Cross of Nails, seeking institutions and churches committed to the ministry of reconciliation. He formed alliances in many places, in Germany, in Taizé, France, in South Africa, Northern Ireland, Jerusalem, and others dedicated to the ministry of reconciliation. So today, there are 260 communities of the Cross of Nails around the globe, about 20 in the United States and Canada. The centers minister in unique ways according to the area in which they find themselves. But the mission is based on 3 imperatives: healing the wounds of history, living the difference and celebrating diversity, and building a culture of peace. St. Mark's is one of these communities and centers, receiving our Cross of Nails on March 9th, 2023. As such, we are involved in several ministries. We are involved in feeding through many helping agencies here in Shreveport with hundreds of casseroles monthly. We are involved with Purchased, Not for Sale, the Highland Renewal Project, and prayer ministry here for the city council meetings, as I realize that decisions made here affect the mission and the ministry of this fine city. We do not pray for the issues. We pray for those who are called to leadership in the city, recognizing that healing and reconciliation starts here. We are also pray weekly, the Litany of Reconciliation, which I think is your fourth addendum, just before our main service every Sunday. The cross of nails we received lives on our main altar as a visual reminder of reconciliation in our ministry. Well, it's living right here, right now, for the moment. 2 Corinthians 5:17 through 19 says, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone, the new has come. All this is from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation, that God was reconciling the world to himself in Christ. It is our privilege to be about the ministry of prayer for this august body of deliberation. We all know that the best work is done when we park our egos and agendas with our cars and seek to do his will. On a personal note, I started my ordained ministry at Coventry Cathedral over 50 years ago, and has been my foundation ever since. We have some of the members of the Cross of Nails ministry team here with us, and there are copies of what I have just said here. But I want to thank you for allowing me to address you today.
Thank you so much, Brother Paul. Thank you.
Madam Chair, real quick, Father Paul was the rector at St. Paul's where my kids grew up, and now we're members at St. Mark's, so I consider him to be my pastor. But you know, I can see a difference in this council from 7 years ago, and I'd like to think it's the prayer that you pray and that we all pray to do what's right for the city of Shreveport. There's been times that I've had a hard time, and you've called me even before you started visiting, and I really appreciate that. So the explanation here is great, and it is true. We all should be rebuilding, not living in the past, rebuilding. So thank you.
Father Paul, I look for you when you're not here. And I'm like, where is he? He's not here. I need him to pray today, for real. Where is he? I want to call you up and say, come. But I thank you for being here so unselfishly and answering the call to pray for this council and to continuously pray for our city. I appreciate you more than words. Councilman Green, you had somebody, didn't you?
Mr. Wesley Adams, but I think he left.
Okay. Jarvis Morgan, please.
And also, the president of the commissions, Ms. Stormy Gates, was here. I don't know if she left or not. Okay. But she was in for a moment.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you doing, sir?
How are you, Mr. Morgan?
All right, how you doing?
We appreciate the construction that is going on in the MLK area, particularly we're speaking in the Audrey Lane. But there are some concerns that are there that I'm sure that you all are going to address with the debris that is in that area and bringing the yards of the residents to their original integrity or better. So I want to ensure that you inform the contractor that what I need for my constituents is for that community and that area to be clean, that the debris is removed properly, that their mailboxes are restored because they need to get their mail. And I actually need him to do that like yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
All right, much.
Also, I need for you all to fix those potholes off of Arrow Drive.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Brandon here?
I didn't see him. Brandon Sneed? I didn't see him. You need a,
Hey, Brandon, I just wanted to publicly thank you all for the work that you all are doing on Browning Street.
Yes, sir.
And we had our conversation on yesterday, and you assured me that we were going to do it right, and you all are doing it right this time, so that we won't have to go back and redo it. So thank you for all that you all are doing.
You're welcome, and that is a joint effort with Public Works.
Right,
So
with
it's
Public
going to be, we're going to do it right.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Shelley Regal still here? There she is. You were hiding.
I was looking on this side for. Miss Shelley, I just want to tell you thank you for the camp that the SPAR did last week for the kids when the parents had to go to work. And you had a week-long program that my grandson was able to attend. A lot of times parents don't hear about the activities we do at the SPAR. Can you kind of bring us up to date? But he had a ball. Just give the parents a little update because I know Thanksgiving coming and Christmas, and let us know the upcoming dates also.
Several years ago, we decided, we always have done a summer camp, but we decided there were many other times when students were out and parents were still working. And we now have this long fall break. We have a week at Thanksgiving, of course, a couple of weeks at Christmas. So we implemented camps during those times, very similar to our summer camps. We try to make them fun and exciting for children since they're out of school. We don't want them to feel like they're still in school. They do everything from arts and crafts to going on field trips to taking tennis lessons. There's just a whole host of activities planned. And as I said to the mayor this week, I know one time we had undercover boss, but there's nothing more terrifying than undercover grandchildren. Because two of you councilmen have undercover grandchildren at a lot of our events. And
Right.
I told the mayor this week that those 9-year-old constituents are tougher than any other constituent we have. So nothing makes my heart feel better than to know that he had a great time at
He
camp.
had a great time.
And I
did
can't
get the
thank the
report.
staff, Kenneth Cornelius and his
Yes.
staff, who manage these rec centers daily, but they also think long and hard about how can we make these exciting for the children. And we all feel like we just ended summer camp, so it was right around the corner when we started this fall camp, and they've just done a great job. So we're glad Riley enjoyed it, and we hope he's back for Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
Kudos.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Voorhees, thank you so much for the beautiful flowers. It was my birthday, I'm 25. Marcino, do you have any awards, recognition, or distinguished guests not to exceed 15 minutes?
Yes, I do today. I'd like to call up the representatives of Visit Shreveport Bossier and Shreveport Green.
Thank you.
And with them, we have a number of our members of the staff of Property Standards, if they would come up. And I know Mr. Morgan is here. We have any other folks from Public Works that are here? And also Captain Silva is here from the police department, and we have representatives of the fire department. And the reason I called all these folks up is over a 13-week period, they did 11 sweeps of the city. And I also feel like I should call up all the city council members, but you're already up here.
Okay.
But I wanted to express my deep appreciation to everybody who supported the block-by-block sweeps. We're now in the process of evaluating the information and coming up with phase 2. But I really do appreciate, I particularly want to call out Shreveport Green. They managed to register 312 volunteers.
Awesome.
And Many of those volunteers attended many of the 11 sweeps, and some of them attended all. I believe Ms. Barnes from Visitors Freeport Bossier made every single one of them. I know that LJ made every single one of them, and it was a great community effort. It was an opportunity for us to get together as a community and improve the way our community looks and feels about itself. And I got to know, walking with the property standards folks, let me tell you, I learned that they know those neighborhoods
Oh, yes,
like
Lord.
the back
They're
of
their
their
hands.
hands. And it was very rare that a constituent said, I'd like you to deal with this property, that the property wasn't already in
the
our
system.
system. Our system grinds slowly sometimes, but almost every time that was already in the system, which means that our property standards folks are doing a really fine job, and I want to say thank you.
Yay!
We have some AmeriCorps, I see we have some AmeriCorps volunteers, and it was really a collaborative effort, which is what we're trying to bring about. So I appreciate you giving me a little time to recognize these folks, and thank you all very much for the hard work that you did. We have a lot of hard work left to do, and I know that you're committed to that as well. Thank you. I might also, is there anybody from Animal Control? Caddo
Yes,
Parish
that's-
Animal Control
Albert
here?
was there too.
That may have been why President Stormy Gage Watts was here, but the parish also was out
Right.
there. You know, one of the frequent complaints in the neighborhood is dogs,
Dogs,
and they were out there rounding them up, and I think we even got a pig or two in Stoner Hill. That's all I have under
all
that
you-
category.
Okay. Do you have any communications of the mayor relative to city business?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna turn the microphone over to CAO Tom Dark, who's gonna give you an overview of the budget.
Tom, we got 5 minutes.
Ma'am?
I told him he had 5 minutes.
Okay. I think
You time me. I'll make it, I promise.
As long as you doesn't have to go find that vault
Vault.
behind Mars.
Thank you.
I've been asked to give the council a brief overview of our 2026 budget proposals today. The numbers really aren't all that complicated. The total operating budget, just a little bit over $707 million. That's 3.4% more than the original 25 budget. The capital budget is a little over $1.1 billion. That includes a lot of projects that date back a number of years, most of which are relatively close to completion. There's only $34 million or so in the capital budget for new projects. That's mostly in airports, Sportran, and streets. For those in the public who are unfamiliar with our budgets, we actually have 23 separate ones. But the largest one of those is the general fund, where most of the city's basic services are funded. That budget for next year is $320.5 million. It is very much a continuation budget, providing funding for things like fire and police and public works and property standards and SPAR, pretty much at their current levels of service. That's also true for some of the other major city departments like water and sewer, Sportran, and airports. And those three together total about $230 million between them. The council will spend parts of 2 days in November reviewing our budgets in detail, but for today there's a couple of highlights. General fund sales tax revenues are projected to grow by 2% next year, which is less than the 2.7% increase expected this year. That increase will be needed mostly to cover additional payroll costs, health insurance costs, among other things. Most other general fund revenues do not grow that much. The 2% utility surcharge we propose has been eliminated from the version of the budget that's actually being introduced today. The budget contains a reserve slightly in excess of our desired 8% minimum. That will allow us to have a few unforeseen budget surprises during the year, and they are going to happen. That's the way it always happens. Some of the other funds, the retained risk fund budget continues to go up to reflect additional costs for insurance and claims. That means the general fund's contribution to retained risk will be going up another $1 million next year. Community development budget is smaller. It represents the end of the main Choice Neighborhoods grant and some small decreases in federal funding. The public safety fund budget gets a little bit smaller as more drivers comply
with the school zone speed limits. The MPC budget is a little bit smaller based on current staffing. Depending on what they do in terms of an executive director, that one might be going up at some point later next year, but not for right now. The Riverfront Fund continues to have a significant transfer to general fund, but at a lower rate than we had this year. It will continue to fund fair share and economic development at their current levels. There's no proposed increase in the charges we assess for water and sewer service for the second year in a row. That is likely to change in the next year or two, depending on when we need to sell revenue bonds to finance new water and sewer projects, and that depends greatly on the negotiations we're still having underway relative to sewer consent decree. And for Sportran, the Zero Fare program will continue. It's important to us that you know just as much about what's not in the proposals we have. Except for the 2% longevity raises that we're required to give fire and police, there are no pay increases in the budget. That'll be 2 years in a row for that. That position isn't sustainable long-term if we want to be able to hire and retain good employees. In rough figures, it would cost more than $8 million annually to provide pay increases in the 5% range for all city employees. I wish I could tell you there was an easy source of funding for that, and there isn't. There are very few dollars, especially in general fund, for the kinds of vehicle and equipment purchases we make each year, or we need to make each year. This includes police patrol cars, EMS units, staff vehicles, and the heavy equipment used by Public Works, SPAR, and police. Just to buy another 30 patrol units and to refurbish 2 medical units, which is something we really need to do every year, is about $3 million. Ideally, we'd probably spend another $2.5 million on remaining vehicles and equipment. We were fortunate in 25 to have some additional revenue to purchase 30 police cars, but we don't have a consistent source of funds for that. And a special need for equipment is garbage trucks. Right now, none of us have to worry very often about whether we're going to finish our garbage routes because we didn't have enough operable trucks that day. If we don't develop at some point and fund a consistent program to replace those garbage packers, you or your successors are going to find sometime down the road that garbage service is going to be a problem. Those trucks are expensive. They're $300,000 a piece. Ideally, we'd buy at least 5 of them a year. This will be the second year in a row we didn't buy any. There's no consistent source of funds for that, and it would be good to find a recurring source because, again, if we do not have enough police cars, enough EMS units, enough garbage trucks, those are things people would see most quickly. And finally, even though we have a dedicated streets fund, anybody who drives in Shreveport knows that the $8 or $9 million we get from that fund every year is really not enough to meet our needs. Even with the bond funding we got in '24, it would be good to have a long-term source of funding there, but there's no real clear path to that. All of those things have one thing in common. They're not one-time issues that can be addressed with one single pot of money. They're long-term recurring needs, and I'm not here to suggest that any of those needs are going to be fixed or even significantly addressed during this budget cycle. But especially for those of you who hope to be serving in your positions next term, they ought to start being on your radar. It's critical that we find a way to do those things. The council has announced plans to hold budget review sessions on November 12th and 13th. We stand ready to provide you any information you need before, during, or after those sessions. The council will also hold a public hearing on those budgets at its meeting on Monday, November 10th. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You did extremely well.
Very well.
I'm proud of you.
Did it make it?
Madam Chair, real quick, I find it very helpful with your slide presentations if you have, and I think we've done that I think we had to ask for that last year, but I find it very easy to follow along if you've got some handouts, and it might be to do enough for the public that come to these meetings as well, because I find it very easy to follow along and to go back and reference things
Correct.
in the slide presentation. So if y'all would do that for us.
I have already started working on pulling
Thank
those
you.
up this morning.
Thank you, thank you.
Any other council members?
Food will be provided by Mars.
Then we're not eating. Mayor Arsenault, do you have any additional communications?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for the birthday card that I know is not spam.
Yes, ma'am.
Just
Not spam.
It's not spam. But it came and I was like, what is this at midnight? Does any member have any questions or concerns relative to property standards for Mr. Jimmy? You could sashay. Did Terrence teach you how to do that? Okay. A master plan committee report will be given next month. Everyone should have received the budget to actual financial report, public hearing. Today, we're required to hold a public hearing on Resolution 109 of 2025. A public hearing is now called to order. Does the administration have a presentation?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Favor, opposition spoken before or after the presentation? Okay.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Mayor Arsenault, and Mr. Dark. My name is Felicia Bell, coming to you from Community Development. This is the City of Shreveport's endorsement of Shreveport REO LLC to participate in the benefits of the Louisiana Restoration Tax Abatement Program. This is a renewal application. It was submitted by Market Street Shreveport LLC, and it included a full transfer of ownership to new company, which is Shreveport REO LLC. This transfer of ownership went into effect on October the 1st of 2023, and the request has been included in this restoration tax abatement renewal legislation. The project is 509 Market Street Luxury Apartments, located at 509 Texas Street, the corner of Market and Texas Street, located downtown in Shreveport's historic district, located in District B, where Gary Brooks serves as the councilman. The apartments, as we know them, are known as the Standard. And you see the pictures, that's the Standard. This building was built in 1910, and it opened up for business in 1911. It was originally the Commercial National Bank building. At that time, it was the tallest building in downtown Shreveport. Okay, the total cost of this project is $11 million. The cost of the resolution is $46,725, which represents increased revenue after 2030. Abated tax for parish and school board is $210,491. That's per year for the next 5 years, and the abated taxes for Downtown Development Authority is $14,912 per year for the next 5 years. The company's doing renovations for this project began in 2018, when this historic 10-story building was transformed into 72 units. It's a mix of studio apartments, one-bedroom apartments, two-bedroom apartments. And with this renewal, they're going to continue the renovations to equip each unit with high-end appliances and creating a unique atmosphere for with classic appeal. This project created 82 actual jobs. There was 78 construction jobs and 4 new jobs. The property offers a lot of amenities, a lot of things. They got elevators, they got high voltage ceilings, they've got thermostats in all the rooms, washer and dryers. It's just a beautiful property. I had a chance to go there the other day. The tenant mix consists of students, young professionals, and families. The property offers short-term rentals, from 3 months to 15 months for business travelers and people that are relocating, professionals. They also have long-term rentals. They offer ADA, each of their floor plans for the studio, for the one-bedroom, two-bedroom. They offer ADA compliant living for people that have disabilities. And I had an opportunity to see that too. Currently, the occupancy rate is at 85%. Are there any questions?
What is the rent?
Okay. The rent, that is, they have like a studio apartments, and the rents vary from $895 to $1,800. And of course, they got the studios, which are the smaller ones, in the 330, 350 square footage. So they're all based on the rent, just depends. They got water and electrics included. They pay extra for their private parking. which gets added to the base rate, and they also add $60 for the washer and dryers in each unit.
Okay,
I
so
get-
it's $895.
$895 for the starting. That's the
That's
studio.
the studio.
Studio,
And
and
so
then you
how
have.
many bedrooms are the larger apartments? How many bedrooms?
They offer a studio apartment, and they offer 1 bedroom, and they offer 2 bedroom.
Okay,
And they have like 3 or 4 floor plans for each of those.
okay.
And the square footage, like I say, it ranges from 334, and the largest one is 978 square feet. Any other questions?
And it's additional charge for,
For the stackable washer and dryers, which they have them in all units, is $60. And then they have $70 that they attach to the base rate for the secured private garage parking.
any councilman have any questions? Is there anyone to speak, anyone present who would like to speak in favor or in opposition of Resolution 109 of 2025? Going once, going twice, gone. If not, this public hearing is closed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Clerk, will there be any legislation to be added today?
No, ma'am.
Today, we will hear public comments on agenda items only. Madam Vice Chair, do we have any requests to speak?
We do. Sammy Mears.
Come on, Sammy, you know the drill.
Sammy Mears, 1133 South Point Parkway, Apartment 111, Shreveport, Louisiana 71105. Today, I would like to speak on Resolutions 9A-118, 9A-119, and 9A-120. I think this is a great idea to recognize October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Also a great idea to recognize October 25 as Domestic Violation Awareness Month and Project Celebration for the good work it does to present and to help assist the victims of domestic violence. I've seen it on the TV show Cops and Police 24/7. I've been keeping up to date on both of these TV shows. I see what's going on. I want to also say that Victor Cortez Green, I'd like for him to be recognized for the good work that he has done over the years, that he has done great dedicated service for the city of Shreveport and what he does. I really have not known him, but I've heard good things. And today I'd like a vote of yes to all 3 of these resolutions. And if you do this, it would really be appreciated. And I'm going to the State Fair in 2 weeks.
Oh, congratulations. Thank you, Sammy.
Sammy. That concludes public comments.
Thank you. We have no executive appointments to consider today. There are no items under consent agenda or introduction or to be adopted. Madam Clerk, please proceed with regular agenda legislation.
Resolution 107, authorizing the mayor of the city of Shreveport to enter into a lease agreement with Volunteers of America of North Louisiana relative to property located at 1254 Texas Avenue.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Talaferro, second by Councilman Brooks. Is there any discussion? Let's vote.
That passes with 7.
Resolution 109, stating the city of Shreveport's endorsement of the Shreveport REO LLC to participate in the benefits of the Louisiana Restoration Tax Abatement Program.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Brooks, second by Councilman Jackson. Or is there any discussion? Let's vote.
That passes with 7.
Resolution 111, acknowledging the city council has reviewed the 2024 internal municipal water pollution prevention report concerning the North Regional and Lucas wastewater plants.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by Councilman Jackson. Is there any discussion? If not, let's vote.
This passes with 7.
Resolution 112, authorizing the mayor to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement between the city of Shreveport and Community Caregivers of Northwest Louisiana.
Second. So moved by Councilman Jackson, second by the chair. Any discussion? Let's vote. Passes with 14.
Ooh, that was a big one.
Well, they really wanted that to
Yeah.
pass.
Resolution 113, authorizing the city of Shreveport, Louisiana purchasing agent to reject all bids received for purchase 2 mixed flow pumps for the tunnel at WWTP bid IFB 25-0454.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Talaferro, second by Madam Vice Chair. Is there any discussion? Let's vote.
This passes with 7.
Resolution 114, authorizing the city of Shreveport, Louisiana purchasing agent to reject all bids received for Cyport Riverfront drainage improvements, bid IFB 25042.
So moved.
So moved by Councilwoman Bowman, second by Councilman Brooks. Is there any discussion? Let's vote.
Voting. Councilman Jackson and Councilman Butcher.
Yes.
Okay, that passes with 7.
Resolution 115, authorizing Decor Lewis at 7025 Tanner Road to make a connection to the city of Shreveport's water and/or sewer system.
So moved.
So moved by Madam Vice Chair, second by Councilman Brooks. Any discussion? Let's vote.
Okay, that passes 7.
Resolution 116, authorizing Julianne Balvin at 10222 Linwood Avenue to make connection to the city of Shreveport's water and/or sewer system.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by Madam Vice Chair. Any discussion? Let's vote.
That passes with 7. Resolution 117, authorizing John Brandon Van Tim at 10668 Linwood Avenue to make connection to the city of Shreveport's water and/or sewer system.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by Madam Vice Chair. Any discussion? Let's vote.
I don't know, something wrong with our internet.
Must be wrong.
Councilwoman Taylor,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks, Councilman Talaferro,
Yay.
Councilman Butcher,
Yes.
Councilman Jackson,
Yeah.
Councilman Green,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Bowman.
Yes. And
That
that
passes.
passes with 7.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
real quick, and we kind of had a computer glitch. I wanted to say something before we voted, but it doesn't really make any difference. Once again, we're letting 3 different people town to water from outside the city. I would much prefer see us do that than annex them into the city because of double the water rate. But we do need to come up with some new rules and regulations on how we do this. I think that's something we need to look at in infrastructure because it does look like to citizens, even though we can support these towns, that we're letting people outside the city town to the water, and why is their quality and pressure not good?
Correct.
So I think we need to look at that, and I also think that I've talked to Mr. Dark on numerous occasions and the mayor about water in Southeast Shreveport, which I think will also help Councilman Jackson and Councilwoman Bowman and Councilman Talaferro in his area. Once we get that new water tower, we should be able to do more of this. So I'm hopeful that we can continue to let people town outside the city without having to annex them.
I agree. Thank you.
Resolution 118 to recognize October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
So moved.
Second. So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by the chair. Any discussion? Let's vote.
That passes with 7.
Resolution 119, recognizing October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and Project Celebration for its work to prevent and assist the victims of domestic violence.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Councilman Butcher, second by the chair. Any discussion? I want to tell the Shreveport Police Department, thank you for the strides that they are really making in arresting those who commit this act of violence. I've seen an increase in those particular numbers. I'm very much appreciative of it. No one else? Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
Resolution 120, recognizing Victor Cortez Green for his years of dedicated public service.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by the chair, second by Councilman Butcher. Any discussion? Let's vote.
Councilwoman Taylor?
Yes.
Councilman Brooks? Councilman Talaferro?
Yes.
Councilman Butcher?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
And Councilwoman Bowman.
Yes, and this passes with 7.
Madam Clerk, would you proceed with introductions of resolutions not to be adopted prior to October 28, 2025?
Resolution 121, authorizing the mayor to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement between the City of Shreveport and the State of Louisiana Facility Planning and Control Division of Administration for Shreveport Regional Airport Expansion and Improvements, Planning and Construction. Resolution 122, authorizing the mayor to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement between the City of Shreveport and the Housing Authority of the City of Shreveport. Resolution 123, authorizing the mayor to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement between the City of Shreveport and the State of Louisiana Department of Treasury. This is for the Amos plant. Resolution 124, authorizing the mayor to execute cooperative endeavor between the City of Shreveport and the State of Louisiana Department of Treasury. Resolution 125, authorizing the mayor to execute a telecommunication franchise agreement with Hunt Telecommunication LLC. Resolution 126, authorizing the mayor to execute a gas franchise agreement with Delta North Louisiana Gas Company LLC. Resolution 127, authorizing the acceptance of a 2-year, $400 million grant from Bloomberg Philanthropies to support the construction of modular homes in the City of Shreveport, and authorizing the mayor to execute all documents relative to this grant. Resolution 128, authorizing the mayor to execute a right of servitude agreement with Red River Express LLC of Alabama for the survey, investigation, and construction of roadway facility on city property.
So move an introduction.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
On 127, when this money first came about, was this where it was actually supposed, I heard the presentation on yesterday, but when it started out, is this where it actually started? That this money was supposed to have been going to, what was the organization yesterday?
Providence House.
Providence House.
Providence House will be managing and these, but that was really what the intent was from the very beginning. I'm not sure what your question is, Mr.
I was thinking that we were starting in like Moortown.
This is actually
different.
not a part of Blight by Blight, Block
Okay.
by Block. It is in the same kind of category, but this was a separate opportunity that we found to deal with homelessness.
Okay.
Was the initial recipient Providence House, or was it Hope Connections? It's
No,
written in the grants.
The original manager we had to have a private entity to manage it, and it was determined that Providence House was the best one. So
Okay.
there was no switch.
Okay, did it have to go through RFP or just?
No, ma'am.
Just a selection? Okay,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
and you welcome.
Who motion and second?
I motion,
I think I seconded.
and what's your second? These items have been introduced.
Since we're talking about stuff, I want to hear more about this dark fiber. Can you kind of explain? I'm picking. I still lost on that one, but okay.
Me too, because it's dark.
Yeah.
Madam Clerk, would you proceed with the introduction of ordinances not to be adopted prior to October 28, 2025?
Ordinance 97A, an ordinance of the Shreveport City Council creating an economic development district within the city of Shreveport to be named the Film and Entertainment Gateway Economic Development District, defining the boundaries thereof, from which certain area, local, and potentially state sales and use tax increments will be determined and used to finance economic development projects within the district, and as authorized by Part 2 of Chapter 27 of Title 33 of the Louisiana Revised Statutes of 1950, as amended, and providing for other matters in connections with the foregoing. Ordinance 104, amending the City of Shreveport, Louisiana 2025 Capital Projects Fund Budget. Ordinance 105, amending the City of Shreveport, Louisiana 2025 Capital Projects Fund Budget. 104 is for Independence Stadium, and 105 is for Bayou Pierre. Ordinance 106 is amending the 2025 Capital Improvements Budget for Police Headquarters. Ordinance 107, amending the 2025 budget for NPC Special Revenue Fund Budget. Ordinance 108, authorizing the mayor of the City of Shreveport to enter into an agreement of immovable property with Wayne Simmons and Stephanie Simmons. Ordinance 109, to amend Chapter 24 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Shreveport, Louisiana, relative to the Department of Community Development. Ordinance 110, to approve the amendment of various articles and sections of the UDC regarding minimum off-street vehicular parking requirements. Ordinance 111, zoning case 2597C, an ordinance to approve the amendment of the zoning map of the UDC by rezoning property located on the west side of Kingston Road, approximately 350 feet south of Francis Drive, from C2 Corridor Commercial Zoning District to C2 CZD Neighborhood Commercial Conditional Zoning District. Ordinance 112, zoning case number 25105C, an ordinance to deny the amendment of the zoning map of the UDC by rezoning property located on the southwest corner of Kings Highway and Barrett Street from RI 5 Single Family Residential Zoning District to C2 Corridor Commercial Zoning District.
So moved on introduction. These items have been introduced.
Now, the 2026 budget ordinances to be adopted no later than December 15, 2025. Ordinance 113, adopting the 2026 capital improvements budget. Ordinance 114, adopting the 2026 budget for the Riverfront Development Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 115, adopting the 2026 budget for General Fund. Ordinance 116, adopting the 2026 budget for the Retained Risk Internal Service Fund. Ordinance 117, adopting the 2026 budget for the NPC Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 118, adopting the 2026 Community Development Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 119, adopting the 2026 Grant Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 120, adopting the 2026 budget for Downtown Entertainment District Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 121, adopting the 2026 budget for the Golf Enterprise Fund. Ordinance 122, adopting the 2026 budget for the Airports Enterprise Fund. Ordinance 123, adopting the 2026 budget for the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund. Ordinance 124, adopting the 2026 budget for contractual services provided to Sporttrend by Metro Management Associates. Ordinance 125, adopting the 2026 budget for the Downtown Parking Enterprise Fund. Ordinance 126, adopting the 2026 budget for the Convention Center Enterprise Fund. Ordinance 127, adopting the 2026 budget for the Convention Center Hotel Enterprise Fund. Ordinance 128, adopting the 2026 budget for the Debt Service Fund. Ordinance 129, adopting the 2026 budget for the Solid Waste Enterprise Fund. Ordinance 130, adopting the 2026 budget for the Street Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 131, adopting the 2026 budget for the Diversion Program Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 132, adopting the 2026 budget for Public Safety Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 133, adopting the 2026 budget for the Economic Development District A District Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 134, adopting the 2024 budget for the Economic Development District F District Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 135, adopting the 2026 budget for the Healthcare and Technology Innovation District East Special Revenue Fund. And Ordinance 136, adopting the 2026 budget for the Healthcare and Technology Innovation District West Special Revenue Fund.
Councilman Green.
You have to introduce them first.
Hmm?
Introduce them first and then
Yeah,
do
you
a
have to
motion to
introduce
table.
So moved on introduction.
Second.
So moving introduction by Councilman Butcher, second by Councilman Jackson. Do we need to vote on these items just need to be introduced?
You don't have to vote on these, but you do have to vote on the next motion, which is to table the 2026 budget.
All right. Yes.
Second. To win. Table to win. Second.
December 9th. December
So-
9th.
December the 9th.
December the 9th. Motion by Councilman Green to table to December 9th, second by Councilman Jackson. Any discussion? Let's vote. Praise the Lord, Tanya, you got through all of that. I know. You could still breathe.
Councilman Brooks, that's what you want to do?
This passes with 6.
Madam Clerk, please proceed with ordinances on second reading and final passage.
Okay. Ordinance 99, authorizing a purchasing agent to advertise for sealed bids to sell to the highest responsible bidder surplus city-owned immovable property and all improvements thereon located at 3830 Greenwood Road, commonly referred to as former Fire Station 14.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by Councilman Jackson. Any discussion? Let's vote.
This passes with 7.
Ordinance 100, authorizing a purchasing agent to advertise for and solicit sealed bids to sell to the highest responsible bidder, surplus city-owned immovable property, and all improvements thereon located at 401 Texas Street, commonly referred to as community development.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Butcher. I'm sorry, so moved by Councilman Brooks, second by Councilman Jackson. Is there any discussion? Let's vote.
Okay, this passes with 7.
Ordinance 101, amending the 2025 capital improvements budget.
So move.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Jackson, second by Madam Vice Chair. Discussion. Mr. Dark, what is this for?
This is to move money into the Pines Road paving project that's ready to go to, in fact, actually, I think, opening bids today, taking that money from the Hirsch project, which is not ready to bid right now. All
Okay.
2024 bond projects.
Okay. Let's vote.
This passes with 7.
Ordinance 102, declaring a public emergency in connection with the emergency replacement of the variable frequency drives at North Regional Wastewater Treatment for effluent and storm water plant pumps.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by Councilman Jackson. Any discussion? Let's vote.
This passes with 7.
Ordinance 103, zoning case number 25-81C, an ordinance to approve the amendment of the zoning map of the UDC by rezoning property located on the east side of Fern Avenue, approximately 1,500 feet north of Business Park Drive, from OS Open Space Zoning District to RTH Townhouse Residential Zoning District.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by Madam Vice Chair. Any discussion? Let's vote.
This passes with 7.
Madam Clerk, is there any table legislation to be removed from the table?
No, ma'am.
We have no property standards or ABO appeals to consider today. We have no MPC ZBA appeals to consider today. Are there any other appeals, Madam Clerk?
No, ma'am.
Are there any reports from officers, boards, and committees? Madam Clerk, is there a clerk's report?
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Mayor Sano, do you have any additional communications?
No, ma'am.
Does any council member have any additional communications? Executive session, there is none. If there is nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.